Hey guys, welcome back to the KingFanMan channel. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the place for all things Bethesda, and we are going to talk about the perk system today, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. You know, I've been watching a lot of the videos on the perk system, and they try to go all in depth, and they try to go as fast as possible, and it gets a little confusing. A lot of numbers and a lot of cards. Well, just like I did with the PvP system, we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Kind of like the old KISS system. Have you ever heard it? Keep it simple, stupid. Well, that's what I'm going to try to do today with the perk and leveling system. Now, there is one real quick thing I want to mention before we get into the leveling system about the character customization that is in Fallout 76 that is not in Fallout 4 nor any other Fallout game. You will be able to change your character, the appearance, and even the gender anytime during the game. So that is a huge feature in Fallout 76.
Change how your character looks, because you're going to play a character for a long time, and you can swap out, change your sex, anything, your hair, everything, just so that you don't feel like, well, I don't like how I picked in the very first second what I look like, really cool feature.
Okay, let's move on to the leveling system. Now, how am I going to keep this simple, but yet not let it be boring to those of us that understand it? Well, all I know to do is just jump right in and give it a try. Okay, it starts with the special system. The special system that was in Fallout 4, that was in Fallout 3. In fact, it goes all the way back to the very first Fallout. It's been in every one of them. The strength, perception, intelligence, all those things that we all know so well. It is back. There are 7 categories. If you remember in Fallout 4, the perk tree, well, the perk tree, if you know that, is very similar to the perk cards that you're going to get in Fallout 76. If you will just keep that perk tree in your mind, it will help you understand these perk cards a little bit. Anyway, what the clip that you're about to see, Todd is trying to explain you coming out of the vault. And this is what is happening, okay? You're going to have 1 perk point in each of the categories. This is what you're awarded as you're coming out of the vault. And you're given 1 more point that you get to choose what category to put it in. And you're given also a perk card that you're going to be able to put in one of those categories. And he's explaining that. So all this is very simple to start off with. So I'm not going to over-explain it. So I'll just let him do that for you.
So if you hit level 2 when you step out, you kind of complete the initial vault thing. And the first thing you do when you level up is pick a special that you want to increase. If you played previous Fallouts, we have all the 7 specials. And after you pick the one you want to increase, you then pick a perk in that special. So here we're choosing Gladiator, which is a melee perk. And then that is a card. As you can see, the perk system, the perks are cards. And then you equip those, and every special is a pool of points for the cards you want to equip, and each card has, I don't want to say mana cost, but a point cost for how powerful that card is, and do you have the right special for equipping it.
Okay, now's where it gets difficult, because next in the panels where they started putting cards together and talking about all this other stuff, which is good stuff, it's stuff that you need to learn, or it's important stuff, but it's not what you need to know next. I want you to think back to Fallout 4. If you're having trouble understanding this, think back to Fallout 4 and the perk tree, okay? The old perk tree, you could either put points up top in the special, or you could put points down and pick a perk, right? In Fallout 76, you can only put points up in the special. Every level, you have to put a point. You have to put one point. You only get 1 point every turn, or every level. You have to put that point up here. Okay, and let's say you have 5 points in strength, and you have 3 points in perception, okay? That means you can only have cards that equal 5 points in strength. You can only have cards that equal 3 points in perception. You cannot go over whatever number you have there. That's as simple as it is. You cannot go over that number. Now, each turn you can swap cards, but you cannot exceed that number up there. Each turn you can put another you can change the points. You can put another point up there. And again, each turn you will get another point awarded. And as I was saying, and I don't think I've said this yet, Jeff Garner said this, if you were listening really close. Now, those of you that are still confused a little bit, you can kind of close your ears to this because this is for free. Todd Howard just kind of mentioned this off the cuff, and he didn't even mention the specifics about it. But from levels 1 to 10, every two levels, every time you level up twice, you get a power pack, which is 4 new perk cards. Okay, so every time you level up twice, you get 4 new perk cards. Then after level 10, you do it every 5th level. You get 4 new perk cards. So that was something Jeff Garner gave for free if you had to be listening. But the main things you need to focus on, the main facts you need to focus on is not about the combining of the cards and all that we'll learn about in just a minute. This is the facts that you need to learn about. The only points you can put in is in that special tree. And that each of those, the SP, they level out at 15. You can only put 15 points in each one. That's it. Okay? There's hundreds of cards, but you can only put 15 points. So you can only have 15 points worth of cards in each line. So isn't that simple? Isn't that simple? Very, very simple. So all of these in-depth YouTube things out there are really keep it simple, stupid. If y'all have questions, y'all leave them. I'm not done explaining, by no means. But if y'all have questions, be sure to leave them down there. Let's listen to more of what Todd Howard had to say.
And so you can pick any perk that you meet the requirements for when you level up. There's no randomness there. And here's what it looks like with a character that's further along. We've upped the cap for each special to 15 from 10. That allows better balance for which cards you're equipping. And the cards right now go from 1 point up to 5 points in power. And then as you level up, more cards become available. And you probably saw before, again, when you level up, you get, these are the cards that come into the sets you can pick from when you're level 4 or 5, whatever. Right. We also experimented with, well, how do we add some more fun to it and give you more choices? And so we have added, because they're cards, perk card packs. And every few levels, initially every 2 levels, you get a perk card pack, and that has 4 random cards. Again, you could have picked these, but it gives you some more interesting choice that you might not have picked to give you some flexibility in your character. And then later on, you get them every 5. But let's look at a perk card pack opening, because they're a ton of fun. We do have gold. That one's great. We have gold cards that animate. Of course, you get a joke and a stick of gum. Nice. And the gum, actually, for fun, is a very slight. It reduces your hunger for a while if you chew the gum. Nice. And so they're a ton of fun. When you hit that level and you're like, oh, it's level 6. All right, I get a pack. You get to pick your regular perk and then also see like, okay, I got these other ones. Is there something I want to swap out? And that's something good to talk about is the swapping of the perks.
Okay, now let's talk about combining the cards. And this is the order they should have done that in. When you get 2 cards that are the same, whether it's 2 warrior cards, you can take 2 warrior cards that are the same, and you can combine them and make a 2, which, what that is, you're just making a stronger warrior card. It would be like going back to Fallout 4 in the perk tree, you're making a 2-star on the lockpicking or a 2-star on the armor, whatever it is. So it's the same thing in this. But again, remember what you need to watch is how many points do I have in that line. Say you're in the strength. If I'm going to do that, that's going to count against how many I have up there. If I combine that, that's going to count that. If I combine those 2 cards into one card, it's going to be 1 card, but it's going to count 2 points. So that's very important.
Okay, this is a level up to level 4. So we picked some more cards. But we wanted to show you how the cards themselves rank up.
Okay.
So you can pick that card again. So by picking Gladiator again, you can then combine that card with the other one to create a more powerful version, but it costs more points.
Right.
So sometimes you may decide, well, I only want the 1-point version equipped for my character build versus the more powerful 2-point version because I'm using my strength stats in some other way. And yeah, so I think that probably makes sense, yes. I hope.
But there's more than 4 levels in the game.
Yes. The levels keep going up and up and up. We don't want to make a game where you have to stop leveling. But we had to make some very interesting decisions of what that means for a multiplayer game for balance.
Now, a couple of other quick facts. At level 50, you quit getting points. You don't get to put any more points in your special stats. So 50, that quits, but you still keep getting cards, okay? So at 50, the points stop, but you still keep getting cards. Also, you're always going to have some extra cards down here that you can swap out with others at times. Now, it hasn't been fully explained when you can. I believe it's going to be when you level up is when you can swap out. You can also swap out with other players, and I believe that might be also when you level up, but that hasn't fully been explained. It might be possible to swap out with other players at any time. I hope that will be further explained later on. Again, I'm going to say again, level 50 is the cap just on points, but the cards, the perk cards, will continue after level 50. And another thing I didn't mention before, with the cards combining into level 2 and level 3, Todd Howard said there is no limit on the amount of leveling. You can just keep leveling cards, but it keeps taking off the points on that. So that's very important as well. Well, I hope I kept that halfway enjoyable and halfway understandable. Anyway, one more thing I wanted to say about this is I believe this is much more RPG appropriate than Fallout and Skyrim were. Not to take anything away from Fallout and Skyrim, but they were more, how do I explain it? It was more rounded. In other words, you could have a character that could do everything, and this almost goes back to the RPG style, where the old skill system, if you will, where you were really focused on one area. You're going to have to really think before you put your point and before you put that card down. Now, granted, you can swap out skills and you can go back and do that, but this is not going to be like Fallout 4 and the perk system. This is not going to be like Skyrim and that perk system. This is going to be a different kind of character build. Now, there are a lot of videos out there that are going in and telling you about all the different perk cards. And yes, they showed a lot, and yes, you can go back and watch those Q&As and watch those YouTubers, and I'm not taking anything away from those YouTubers, but listen, they said there are hundreds of perk cards, so they haven't near showed all the perk cards that are out there, okay? So that's why I thought there was no need to go into all the perk cards that they showed, because there's a lot more of them out there that are going to be in Fallout 76, so I can't wait to see what other perks that they've got waiting on us out there. I want to thank you, as always, for getting your Bethesda fix right here at the King's Corner. As always, my links are down below. You follow me on Twitter. Find me on Facebook, all of those things. And if you want to support this channel, check me out on Patreon as well. Hey, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, that is free. As always, just click that button. I am the KingFanMan. You'll be seeing me very soon.